Hello, Juan here. I was talking to my friend the other day about these ideas that I was kind of coming up with. And he was just asking me, okay, cool. So once you have all these ideas or you started come up with things, whether you're going to do a children's book or you want to try to do workshops or you want to build a coffee shop, whatever it is, how do you just pick one or how do you go about it? And I thought about it and I just said to him, this kind of six things that I use as a guiding principle to start with, right? Like there's so many ideas out there that you could come up with. I'm sure you all have things in your head going, I want to do this, I could try to do that. And they're all great possibilities. So what I started doing was these are kind of six things that I can think of that I would like to. Every time there's an idea, it goes through a little bit of these guiding principles. The first one is it aligned with you and is it personally fulfilling? Now, one of the reasons why I started to pivot a little bit is that I no longer was feeling like being on a mission, like waking up, being on a mission to push hard on something that you either try to solve or want to be part of the solution, or is it something that you get excited about with difficulties, but am I on a mission? Am I waking up and going through the days on a mission to solve X? I started to do what I was doing prior to this journey, and we were doing great stuff, but I was just kind of more doing the same thing, and I think I lost a little bit of my personal direction. So is it aligned and personally fulfilling? This is just purely you with you conversation. And that's why I did the values exercise. That's why I did the definition of success exercise, just with my inner self, me with me. Then the next one is it anchored? This thing or this idea, is there an anchor there that could be aligned with your strengths and what my psychology calls the superpower? Like we all have a superpower of sorts. And when we used to do human-centered design workshops, we used to talk about as an icebreaker, what's your superpower, right? And what you want to do is see if you can, the idea that you have, is it aligned with your superpower? Now, you don't need to know everything about that idea, but you want to kind of start to go, yeah, I think I can use this thing, this strength that I have. Like in my world, I think I can provide clarity. I can connect some dots pretty quickly. And I love problem solving and storytelling. So those are things that I feel that I can have some strengths in it. I'm working on it. It's hard to evaluate your strengths. And then I could be good at building structure. So that goes, okay, well, cool. The other variable is, does it solve a real problem, right? Like, is it something that you go, is there a problem here? And at the beginning, you may not know, but you want to have a bit of a notion, or maybe you can validate that idea a little bit further and think, well, actually, I don't know 100% if it is, but you can do a little bit of a market research pretty quickly to validate if there could be a demand in that, right? Or you can talk to some people that may be your potential buyers and ask and do a bit of really clear research. This is a really good way to start to go, well, if I can't see the problem I'm solving, then maybe it's more of a passion idea, a passion project, that eventually that passion project could could become something else. But you want to try to think that there is a problem that you're trying to solve, and there's a demand for it. The next one is, inevitably, we all live in this world where we need to we have some financial commitments. So I like to think, when you start with these ideas as well, to run it through the filter, is there a clear path to monetization? How easy would it be, or how difficult would it be to have a model that you can think, oh, I can make some money out of these? What does the MVP could look like? Something like a minimum viable product would look like, or a minimum viable service. So then you can start to think, what's the lift there? How much investment do I need to put? Is it just my time that I can use to start to make some money on this idea? Or it's a great idea, but to start to make money, it's going to be pretty heavy, difficult, and further down the road. And it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable. You may want to pursue a huge idea with maybe a not so clear path to monetization, or maybe a great goal. Maybe in 2 or 3 years you start to get some money out of your idea. In my world, I really want to have something small to start with, to try to test in market and start to make see if I can get some profit. So then I can not just keep on the journey happily just discovering. I would love to do that, but the reality is that I have financial commitments, as I'm assuming we all do. The other one, this one is like, I was daydreaming and I was kind of thinking, what would be my absolute best number if I could ever hit that wealth number? And it doesn't need to be done with one idea. You could have 10 ideas that contribute to that wealth number. And that was just, I think that came from, I heard it in a podcast somewhere. I can't remember which one, but we're talking about find your number, whatever that is, and, see if you can get there. So the fifth kind of thing that I like to run my initial ideas are, does this idea, could it support this scalable wealth path? So if your number is pretty big, then you can have an idea that just has a 10%, a 5% contribution in that. But then, well, once I have this idea, then I can build another thing. Typical example is if you have a digital product, you build it once, you sell it online. Not that I'm going to do this, but it's your typical example. You leave that cooking. Maybe you can sell 10, 15K in a year. And then you can pursue something else. So that starts to contribute to that bigger number. So can this idea contribute to the bigger scalable wealth path? And the last one, is it aligned with your life design? So my life design is something that it's a combination of my profession with my personal life. And it's just, obviously, for me, there's no separation between your work, your life. It's all together, right? Like my life is my life. But I do want to make sure that my life in the future is flexible, is energizing, and hopefully it's sustainable. And in the most crazy way, I want to keep spending, not spending, but find the way that I can connect where I come from, Colombia, with Australia, so I can have access to my family, my mom, my dad, and my extended family a lot easier. That would be cool if I can be able to do that. And obviously spend time with the girls and the fam, and not just building stuff, right? So those are the 6. So you think about, is it mission aligned? Is there anchored to your strengths? Am I solving a problem when there's demand? How easy would it be or difficult would it be to make money? Or what's your monetization plan? Does it support my bigger wealth plan? And is it aligned with my life design? What I do with those 6 things is I have an idea and I look very quickly if it would be good to go to the next stage. And the next stage, as you would imagine, I create a little framework as to how I evaluate each idea, which I do in another video. Hopefully this is useful, and see you in the next one. Bye.